Pittsburgh fans hoping to see the streak continue. The Panthers have never lost in the brand new Peterson Event Center. The test this afternoon from the Big Ten, the Nittany Lions of Penn State. A matchup of the Big Ten and the Big East this afternoon here in Pittsburgh. Nittany Lions off to an impressive 3-1 start. Panthers ranked number 22 in the country. They are undefeated at 5-0. Fourth year in a row they have opened the season with 5 consecutive wins. Snowy day in Western PA. We welcome you inside this afternoon along with Bob Valvano. I'm John Sanders. Good start for the Nittany Lions, and especially for Jan Jagla doing a good job.
Well, it's going to be a big task to end this long home winning streak for Pittsburgh, and they've got big hopes for their big man, who has put a lot of offensive numbers on the board, and he's going to have to be able to do that today. They're not a deep team. He's averaging over 20 points a game, and they are going to have to get a big offensive production from him.
Panthers coming off back-to-back trips to the Sweet 16, but Brandon Knight was running the show then. It's Carl Krauser now.
Well, they haven't missed much of a beat. Carl Krauser's given them a little bit of everything. He's scoring. He's even rebounding a bit. You see almost 4 rebounds a game. And like the old ex-amateur boxer he was, John, he can put the knockout punch on you by hitting those clutch free throws at the end of the game. He's a good free throw shooter.
And the Panthers have won 19 straight games in this building. They'll try to continue that this afternoon. We've got a cat fight in Pittsburgh. It's the Nittany Lions and the Panthers coming up.
The more you discover about the Hyundai Elantra, the more it makes sense. It's loaded with standard features like AC and power everything. Plus, only Hyundai has America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. It's $1,600 less than a Honda Civic LX when comparably equipped. In fact, the 2004 Hyundai Elantra starts at just $13,889. When your car makes this much sense, you win. Come in now for your last chance to get a great deal on all 2003 models.
The largest Dodge Chrysler Jeep dealer in the greater Pittsburgh area, Preston Dodge Chrysler Jeep, now has Nissan. And their goal is to become the largest volume Nissan dealer in Western PA. Over 100 Nissans now available. All the hottest 2004s, like the Maxima, Ultima, 350Z, Murano, and the Pathfinder Armada. Now with incredible savings, like financing as low as 0.9%, or rebates up to $3,500. From a 2004 Nissan Ultima, just $199 a month. Preston Nissan, now located next to Preston Dodge Chrysler Jeep on Route 51 in Beaver Falls, just 1 mile off Route 60.
Today's NCAA basketball game is brought to you by Cooper Tire, proud to be the official tire of the Big East Conference. Cooper Tires, don't give up a thing. By Hyundai, only Hyundai has America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. Hyundai wins. And by Pontiac, test drive the 2004 Grand Prix at your local Pontiac dealer. Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA. Well, despite the 6 to 10 inches of snow that fell here in the Pittsburgh area overnight, good crowd on hand as always in the Peterson Event Center. Let's meet the starting lineups for these two teams, one from the Big Ten, the other from the Big East. You can see that it's Luber, Smith, Ekakazi, Riley Smith, and Jagla, the starters for Penn State. For Pittsburgh, some veterans there. Krauser takes over at the point, but he's got plenty of veteran help in Page, Morris, Troutman, and Brown. These guys from Pittsburgh have played together quite a bit.
They have, and they have been a bit spotty in this early season. I think that's safe to say, but they're making huge adjustments. They've lost a bunch of points and a bunch of rebounds from last year's team, and they are still unbeaten.
They lost 3 key starters for that team a year ago: Brandon Knight, Donatas Zavascus, and Ontario Lett.
3,000 points and over 1,300 rebounds in that bunch, John. That's a lot to replace.
And, of course, the big key there, the Panthers have had a little problem in the first half getting going in their early ball games, despite the fact that they're undefeated. But you've got a brand new point guard who works at a different speed than Brandon Knight.
Yeah, I was going to say, people shouldn't be surprised at that. A new coach, even though he was an assistant here, and he's not obviously unknown to these players, there's still a different feel, a different rhythm to the game. And as you said, especially starting with the point guard, although Carl Krauser's played brilliantly, there's a different feel to the game, and that's an adjustment period, there's no doubt.
Well, the game for the Panthers earlier this week was a sellout across town, the city game against Duquesne. And it was the defense of the Panthers in the second half. And let's face it, they have made their reputation playing defense the last couple of years.
Well, you know, it's interesting because they have made their reputation playing defense and specifically making you shoot a bad percentage. If you look at the stats, I found this amazing. John, there was only a half of a turnover per game difference in the team that won 13 games as opposed to the dominant teams the last couple of years. But the difference was the defensive shooting percentage. They have really clamped it down, and they're doing it again so far this year, giving up just 38% from the field. Very, very good.
A native of the Pittsburgh area is Ed DeChellis. He is the head coach, huddled with his team there, so he's kind of coming back, although he's been a long-time assistant at Penn State.
And had a great run at East Tennessee State. And as you see there, a good overall record. Rebuilt the program that was very downtrodden there. And they are 3-1, could be 4-0.
And Jamie Dixon, in his first year as the head coach, he was the assistant under Ben Howland. And again, off to a good start, 5-0 in his first season.
Making it look easy. Not supposed to be that easy when you take your first head coaching job. But with good reason. They have enough back to be very competitive. And certainly in this building, where they have yet to taste defeat in this beautiful new building.
Pittsburgh won by 22 points at State College a year ago. These two teams will meet again in early December next year.
Well, we talked about it at the top, though, John. You've got to watch Jan Jagla early to see how much they are committed to get him involved in the offense, because I can't draw up a scenario where Penn State even has a chance without him having a big offensive game.
Referee is Mike Roberts. William Bush, Ted Hillary are the other officials. That was a change because it was supposed to be Tim Higgins, but because of the weather, he did not make it here. Here's Page. First shot from outside, and he messes in the net.
Great confident first possession for Pittsburgh. Easy ball movement, nice flow. Page got a wide open look.
Now the Nittany Lions off to that 3-1 start. Jagla not afraid to go outside. He's a good shooter.
He will definitely shoot that one.
It's a little strong. The rebound brought down by Pittsburgh. Panthers did not rebound very well in the first half against Duquesne earlier this week either.
There's an area, though, John, they have a big advantage. They out-rebound their opposition by over 8 rebounds a game. Big
Here's
advantage.
Morris inside.
Well, that's a bad start for Ed DeChellis. Not that they're down 4-zip, but the ease with which Pittsburgh has gotten those 2 shots, John. They haven't had to work very hard for those.
Smith from outside. The 3 won't go. It's batted away, and Krauser has it.
Well, he's very confident, stepping into some big shoes for Brandon Knight.
Brown works inside, goes back to Page. The dump down. And again, Morris to the left hand, made it look easy.
Well, that's the word we've used all 3 possessions. It has been easy each time down the floor. They have been very workmanlike.
Bad pass picked off by Pittsburgh and recovered that time by the Nittany Lions, and Jagla misses point blank, puts it back.
Well, that's what they needed. They needed an easy bucket, kind of out of a broken play. See if maybe they can relax a bit. Certainly, Penn State knows this is going to be a daunting task, and Pittsburgh's come out very confidently this afternoon.
Brown from three-point range, short.
Penn State going to push it here a bit. That would be something they could use to get a couple easy buckets.
Good move by Smith, and then it's knocked away by Troutman. Krauser has Brown ahead of Luber, lays it in.
Well, that was a bad exchange for Penn State. They had their first chance at a transition, got no shot at all, and then gave the leak out the other way to Brown. An easy bucket for Pittsburgh.
This is Luber to Jagla. Panthers 4 of 5, Lions 1 of 4, stripped away out of bounds, and it belongs to Pittsburgh.
Nice defensive play there. Troutman gave up no ground, was close enough to discourage Jagla from shooting the 3. You got to look at it with the left-hand dribble. The clean strip right there. Great call off Jagla's leg and out of bounds, and the turnover for the Panthers.
Krauser, the redshirt sophomore from the Bronx, and they recruit heavily in New York, the Bronx, New York City. Morris from outside, and he's on fire, 3 of 3. Great start for him.
Absolutely feeling it. And I'll tell you one thing Penn State's going to have to do. They're going to have to get a little more pressure on the basketball. Pittsburgh is just everybody who catches it, John, facing the basket, relaxed like a walk in the park. Got to make it a little harder.
Biggest lead so far. Just over 3 minutes into this one, and we've got our first foul.
Contrast what's going on with the defensive end of the floor for the Panthers. Torrey Morris gets the foul there, but look at how Pittsburgh makes Penn State catch the basketball and face pressure anytime they get in a scoring zone. Turn their back to the goal, even out this far away. Close enough to get a hand on you. The other end, they've got too much room to work, and that's why they're getting easy shots.
Egekezi to Jagla. It's inside, bumps, and blocked from behind, although the Lions come out of there with it. Luber for three. Short. Belongs to Pitt.
That was a good look off of the broken play. That's where you will get some good looks at the three. Luber wide open there, not able to knock it down. He had been shooting fairly well from behind the line.
One of two true freshmen in this starting lineup for head coach Ed DeChellis. Ed is a native of Pittsburgh, grew up in Monaca, which is in Beaver County, north of here. Page tries to go inside to Brown, and Yagla picks it off. The early shooting advantage obviously belongs to Pittsburgh. That one is deflected. Page has it.
Pitt just team defense. They make nothing easy for you. Great pass. Beautiful bounce pass that time. That was I've used the word probably 3 times, John, but it is the best way to describe what Pittsburgh's doing right now, playing so efficiently. Watch the good reaction. Chase, get a hand up on the shooter. Krauser, we talk about he's doing a little bit of everything. Then watch the transition. 1 pass, 2 pass. They've covered 80 feet of the floor with 2 passes. It turns into a foul to prevent a layup. That's a very efficient basketball right there.
And, of course, the good pass by Jerron Brown, a 5th-year senior. And he is probably, in my opinion, in the last 4 years, been the most underrated player in this conference.
We talked about at the top, Krauser hits free throws as well, 77%. You can't overstate that. When you're a team that's going to be protecting leads late, you got to know your point guard can go to the line. Everybody can feel like it's handing the ball to Mariano Rivera. The deal is done, and he makes the first one here.
The first sub for the Panthers is Chris Taft, the outstanding freshman from Coney Island, who's also off to a good start in his first year. There are 6 new faces on this Pittsburgh team. Krauser hits 2 from the line. The Panthers lead grows to 10.
Cooper Tire is proud to be the official tire of the Big East Conference. Cooper Tires, don't give up a thing. Rush to get the only credit card packed with all the NFL action you want. The official NFL Visa credit cards with no annual fee and a lineup of heavy-hitting benefits. Request yours today and receive a free officially licensed NFL Fleece Stadium blanket. Get in on the action online at NFLTVOffer1.com today.
The news is hot at #1 Monroeville Dodge, and these deals are smoking. New Ram Quad Cabs from just $15,598. Brand new 2004 Neons from just $85.98. Smoking deals at Monroeville Dodge. Are you going to shop anywhere else? I don't think so.
From our family of 35,000 to yours, may the joy of music fill your hearts throughout the year. Happy holidays from UPMC.
The news is hot at #1 Monroeville Dodge, and these deals are smoking. Brand new Dodge Caravans and brand new Durangos for $1,000 under invoice, and you keep the rebate. Smoking deals at Monroeville Dodge. Are you going to shop anywhere else? I don't think so.
Well, for maybe the first time this season, a quick start for the University of Pittsburgh. They jump up by 10 for their first-year head coach, Jamie Dixon. And the winning streak at home for Pittsburgh, and this goes back to the days at Fitzgerald, Bob, because they've won 25 straight, 3 more, and they'll set a new school record.
Well, not only have they played well at home, they have played well everywhere. They have they're tied for the second best winning percentage over the last 2 seasons. The best in the country is Kansas at 84%. They're tied with Duke, very, very close behind it, 83.8%. That's pretty strong.
Well, they've had great success in the conference as well. They have the best record in the last couple of years. And there's a three-pointer from outside by DeForest Riley Smith, a sophomore from Cincinnati.
Ed DeChellis has to be pleased with that. That was a set play out of the timeout. He wanted to put it in that young man's hands. He didn't let him down. Got the 3 back in a hurry for his team.
He is averaging in double figures, just over 10 a game. Page gets inside, goes back to Brown. It's too strong. Tipped up and in by Brown. So Duran gets his second field goal as he stayed with it.
I've talked about that. Pittsburgh, big rebounding advantage. They hold you to such a low shooting percentage. They dominate the glass like that. It's lights out, which is why they are beating people by an average of 17 points a game in this young season.
Brandon Cameron is checked into the lineup for the Nittany Lions.
Look at the help there. Great help. Troutman and the passing lane. Very simple things like that. Just to disrupt the flow of your offense.
This is Riley Smith with it.
Good hedge right there by Taft.
The dump down, shot clock winding down, and a traveling violation.
Well, they earned that one. Two simple little things. Hand in the passing lane and a hedge on the dribble screen. Disrupts the offense. Shot clock gets short. Panic a little bit, and you get the turnover. Good team defense.
There's the turnover difference. Not much so far.
Look how easily, though, Pittsburgh moves the ball, but that time they got Troutman for an illegal screen.
First on Shaban.
It'll be a turnover, but again, though, somehow Penn State's going to have to. I know they want to avoid foul trouble. They're not deep, but they've got to make Pitt turn their back a little bit. If you let them face the goal like that, they're going to pick you apart.
Well, so far this year, they have played only 8 players in their first 4 games. There's a turnover, number 4, as it went right through the hands of DeForest Riley Smith.
And give Pittsburgh credit there. When they make a turnover, they come right back. That's twice we've seen them do that now. An empty possession, they've come back at their defensive end and got the ball right back.
Almost 6 minutes gone in the opening half, and the Panthers in control.
Everybody who catches it squared up to the goal, facing the goal. Krauser right away, squared up to the goal, and an easy entry pass inside.
Troutman then gives it back to the freshman and gets the offensive rebound, so the Panthers maintain possession despite the miss of the slam by Taft.
Lee said it. Krauser settles him down, and they start all over again.
Fresh clock at 25 right now. And Krauser's not even attempted a shot. Page had it, lost it, picked up by Pittsburgh out of bounds, and it will stay at this end.
They can do on a baseline out of bounds play. Ed DeChellis calls 3. They'll probably zone the out of bounds. It looks like they're in a 2-3 here. And they are.
All the way out to Julius Page. Shot clock now inside 10. Krauser to Page for 3. Good.
Boy, that is a team with some veterans out there. The senior Page, the shot clock down to 2. He acted like he had all day to shoot that. Beautiful execution. Very confident bunch right now. They look like a team that hasn't lost in this building, John.
Good penetration by Cameron, but Taft has the rebound.
Brown got away with a push there.
3-on-2 for Pittsburgh. It's Page flying in, missed the shot. Troutman the putback, bending in.
Everything going the Panthers' way. Transition, second chance opportunities. Penn State's going to have to do something to disrupt the flow of the game right now because there's doing nothing right now to keep Pittsburgh from doing whatever they want at both ends.
And so far, the rebounding edge, as you would expect, headed toward Pittsburgh's way, and they have controlled this ball game from the beginning. Egakazi goes back outside. Yagla for 3. Too strong. Krauser runs it down. Again, the numbers for Pittsburgh. All the way in, bending, good.
They let the rebound come out uncontested and then let them dribble the basketball right down the center of the floor. Penn State's got to make a little bit of an objection here to what the Panthers are doing because they look very, very rattled right now.
Obviously, this is the most impressive first half performance by Pittsburgh this season. They have been struggling to get off the mark. Luber, no place to go, back to Yagla. All 5 starters have scored for Pittsburgh. Yagla with a turnaround gets his second field goal.
He decided he was going to take that shot. His team needed a bucket from him, and he got it because when they ran at him in a double team, he would have had an easy pass to the corner, but he had made his mind up to make that back to the basket move and got an important field goal to stem the tide a bit.
And that's going to be inside on Egakazi for holding. He will pick up his first foul. It comes at 11:36 and will send us to a break. 21-7 Pittsburgh in front of Penn State.
The Hyundai Santa Fe is making more sense to more people. It's loaded with standard features and costs $1,300 less than a Toyota RAV4 when comparably equipped. And only Hyundai has America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. Test drive the 2004 Hyundai Santa Fe, starting at just $18,084 with Sport Utility Package. With Hyundai, you win. Get a 2004 Santa Fe with up to $2,000 cash back or 0% APR.
No other weekly financial publication moves the markets like Barron's. It provides the knowledge, insight, and foresight that allow you to stay one step ahead. Subscribe now and you'll also receive this Barron's Stock Evaluator free. It lets your computer help you turn money into wealth. Get 13 weeks of Barron's and the Stock Evaluator, all for only $39. Call now toll-free 800-334-6600. That's 800-334-6600.
Law of Power number 19. Know who you're dealing with. When you're recommended for physical therapy, Panther Physical Therapy has the years of clinical experience you deserve. Our therapy and hours are built around you. We care and respect your privacy. We give back to the communities we serve. Sean Collins, Jeff Patterson, Jay Lemke, Vicki English, Paula Dolgos. Panther Physical Therapy. If you're not getting therapy from the Panther, you're not getting the best physical therapy available.
From our selection to your savings, everything at the new number 1 Cochran Mega Center is just plain bigger. Even our balloons. Here you go.
Geez, thanks.
The new number 1 Cochran Mega Center. Bigger than ever, better than ever. 8 amazing nameplates. 1 spectacular location. Lower prices than anywhere else. Now the largest GM complex on the East Coast is right in your backyard.
It's been all Panthers so far, 21-7 here at the Peterson Event Center. And take a look at the nice composure. Shot clock running down here, calm as can be. Krauser draws 2 defenders to him, finds Page. Look at the shot clock at the top of the screen there. 2 on the shot clock. Very, very efficient. And then in transition, the same deal. Off-balance shot. Good composure underneath. Troutman crashing the boards and putting it back in the goal. They're doing it at both ends. Execution, crashing the boards at both ends and playing a good defense.
And another one of the freshmen, Antonio Graves, now in the lineup for Pittsburgh. So a couple of freshmen out there. And they have some new faces. Here's Graves. McCarroll is also checked in. Three-pointer? No, he passes on it, steps to the baseline, and has it knocked away.
Yeah, kickball going to be a new shot clock, but Ed DeChellis goes to the zone here, which, why not? I mean, Pitt's got 21 points here in less than a little more than 8 minutes. See if you can turn the game with a little change in defense.
Well, they've had 3 different runs, a couple of 6 points and one of 9 points. So that's one reason that they have been comfortably in front. They scored the first 6 points of the afternoon. Here's Jerron Brown. It's inside to McCarroll.
Nice when you can run a 7-footer at the shooters on the baseline as they can there with Yagla.
Taft inside, and he is the 6th Panther to score as he gets his first bucket.
John, that's an indication of how well they're playing as a team. They've got a lot of touches, a lot of different guys, and as you said, 6 players already scored in the first 9 minutes of the ball.
Summers in the lineup. Had it, gave it to Luber. He looks to Smith.
Good play by Brown.
That's got to be on Luber.
That's a good call. That's another. Again, we're talking about the team defense of the Panthers. Watch away from the ball. Brown steps in. Watch the cut here. Look at the top of your screen. Bang! Right in the middle of the number 4 on his jersey. There's not much doubt about that. It's a very simple concept to talk about, but not easy to execute. Bumping cutters when they come through the lane. Brown did it perfectly, got the turnover.
Graves goes down to Brown. Krauser straight away for 3. Bingo.
Man, oh man.
This is a clinic so far.
It is. What we need is an overhead projector. We let Jamie drop some plays at halftime. Charge admission. Some of the coaches get a lesson here.
26-7.
They're going to have to get somebody to go by on a dribble because they're all playing east and west.
Yagla short with a 3. Here comes Krauser. Head up.
They are just
ahead. Brown up. Bending, no good. Yagla has the rebound. Good quick move by Marlon Smith, but no place to go. Tries to fight his way inside.
You see, he made the one penetrating drive, and it created some things. Creates a rebounding lane, creates some things. If you go by people off the dribble.
Scramble for the ball. Smith will put it up. That's short. Yagla had it, lost it as McCarroll comes out of there for Pittsburgh. Panthers get it back.
Very, very effortless to get into their offense. Any pass they want to make, they make.
Jerron Brown looked inside, goes inside. Taft powers it up, bending no good. Rebounded by Luber. Back come the Nittany Lions.
So many white shirts ahead of them, though. All 5 guys beat the ball down the floor.
Smith underneath, no place to go. Riley Smith with penetration. Offensive foul, no basket. Wave it off.
Well, that rule change this year. No more. It's good, and then charge after the shot. This started in transition, all 5 guys back, and then look on the dribble. Look at it, 3 different players were ready. It was like take a number at the deli. Who was going to take the charge? Everybody was ready because that is how quickly they react to any dribble penetration. You've got to make that initial drive and then kick it out and find somebody and make them chase you. Penn State, first of all, hasn't been making the dribble drive, and then when they haven't made that extra pass, and it has shown.
8:45 to go first half here at the Peterson Center. The edge to Pittsburgh in the rebounding by 5. Crowds are with it. He's played the whole way so far. We've seen now all 8 of the Penn State players who have played this season as Krauser tries to go baseline. Kicks it back to Page. Shot clock at 10. Krauser spins around. Luber misses the shot, gets it back, and has it knocked out of bounds. So Pittsburgh will keep it. He's got the size advantage against Luber inside.
Actually, it's going to be Penn State basketball. Must have been touched on the way out.
Apparently so.
Ted Hillary. I don't want to beat it over the head, John, but all you got to do is contrast. Watch how the teams defend inside that three-point line on 2 things. When the ball moves, how quickly Pittsburgh team rotates to the basketball.
And that's a traveling violation. Another turnover for Penn State.
And watch how they challenge passes and cutters a little bit more aggressively than we're seeing from the Nittany Lions.
And that team defense, especially scoring defense, field goal percentage defense, has been among the best in the country the last 2 years.
Well, you're seeing one of the reasons why today. I realize this is a young Penn State team going to get better, but they're having a hard time finding answers to this good team defense.
Morris, who hit his first 3, got off to a great start, puts up a little jump hook and draws a foul from Fellows.
Morris is a guy who has not really been asked to give them many points this year, averaging just a bucket a game, but about 4 rebounds. But as you said, John, they have gone right inside to him early, and he's responded.
Well, his high for the year is only 8. His career high is 10. So he has been more of a space eater type person and a defender than he has an offensive threat.
He's well on his way today. He's got a chance to get to 8 if he can knock these 2 down.
Yep. And this was the Achilles heel for Pittsburgh the last couple of years.
Well, which is why I talked about at the top, and I mentioned it already about Krauser. I really don't think you can overstate that. They got at least, one safe haven where they know they can put it in his hands. At least he's shown he's going to be able to make free throws.
Well, that was one thing that Brandon Knight didn't do during the time that he was here. Tipped out of bounds, and it belongs to Penn State. Nittany Lions will have it after we take a break. Pittsburgh 26, Penn State 7 here in Pittsburgh.
Ponder this. You get what? About 5 new cars in your life? One mistake and boom, 4 prime years gone. However, slip behind 260 supercharged horses in the most powerful, best-handling driving machine in its class, and your life will still go by fast. But this time, it'll be a real good fast. The 2004 Grand Prix with Comp G, the new powered Pontiac. That's fuel for the soul.
People loved it so much we brought it back. The big, bold flavor of Arby's Italian beef and provolone. With beef oven roasted so it's tender and juicy, not greasy. Then marinated in Italian seasonings with authentic provolone on a soft baguette. If you haven't tried one yet, you don't know what you're missing.
Gee, I'll admit, you have a really nice announcer voice.
Thanks, Sarah. Excuse me, someone's at the drive-thru.
Welcome to Arby's. Have you tried our new Italian beef and provolone?
What are you eating today?
Looking for a new Sunfire? The Sea Harbor Autoplex has over 50 Sunfires in stock.
Looking for a new Grand Am? The Sea Harbor Autoplex has over 100 Grand Ams in stock.
Looking for a new Cavalier? The Sea Harbor Autoplex has over 130 Cavaliers in stock.
Whether you want a new Chevrolet, Pontiac, Cadillac, Buick, Kia, or one of 700 used vehicles, the massive Sea Harbor Autoplex has over 2,000 vehicles in stock.
If you want it, Sea Harbor's got it.
The massive Sea Harbor Autoplex, Route 51, Bell Vernon.
They used to be the Fitzgerald Fanatics. Now they are the Oakland Zoo. And the faithful here with their brand new T-shirts. That's the T-shirt for this year. They handed it out to the students as they came in before the game.
I like it.
And let's take a look at our Pontiac top performance of the week. You look at the performance of Carl Krauser. The reason he is the co-Big East player of the week because of the job that he has done overall. He has been terrific his first year running the offense. Smith from outside. That's short. Morris has the rebound. Now Graves brings it up to Julius Page, the native of Buffalo. Folks named him after Dr. J. Brown works inside, scores.
It's further complicated for Penn State. They're having a hard time containing the dribbler. Not only they're making it easy for the Panthers to pass the ball, but boy, they are able to go right by him on the dribble. Nice move that time by Brown.
Marlon Smith with it outside, finds Luber. Yagla set to check back in along with Riley Smith. Dump down, scramble, Panthers have it. They're getting all the loose balls too right now.
Yeah, they really have got it going. It's been a very efficient and impressive first half for the home team.
They have controlled things inside. You see shooting 60% and controlling every other aspect of the game. No wonder they're up by 21.
Yeah, but that is, you hit it on the head there. That is their modus operandi, is to shoot well and get, more importantly, keep you from shooting well.
That's an offensive foul on Page. Julius picks up his first.
Nice aggressive team defense that time by Penn State. Rotating quickly to the ball, kind of something Pittsburgh has done well all game.
Siobhan Troutman returns, replacing McCarroll for the Panthers.
4 o'clock tip-off time.
I'm John Sanders, along with Bob Valvano and our entire crew here at the Peterson Event Center. I know this is your first visit here. It's a great building.
It really is a magnificent building. Beautiful. Everything it's cracked up to be.
Luber looks for help.
Look at the ball pressure, making them go east and west, and that's tough for a young player. He's going to have to learn to get in that lane a little bit. They've done nothing but go east-west this whole possession. We're down to 12 on the shot clock. Now they get some penetration.
Yagla spins, shoots. That one is blocked into the hands of Morris. Panthers, as you would expect, dominating the points in the paint so far as well. Let's face it, they've done everything pretty well so far in this first half.
Even the kicking game, I think, has been impressive.
Down the lane comes Graves, puts it up short. Yagla the rebound. Yagla averaging a double-double in the young season. Wide open look for Riley Smith, and it goes right into the hands of Page. Panthers, Troutman stolen by Luber, and a foul on Siobhan Troutman.
Well, Luber's getting a little bit more comfortable here. That was a nice pass in transition, even though it was an air ball, as the students are letting him know. It was a good pass in transition, and then even though it was an air ball, he quickly recovered, got back in transition, and made the steal, drew the foul. So a good play for the freshman Luber, who has had one particularly good game. He's basically put all of his stats up in that one game, John, where he was very, very good in the road win at Buffalo.
Well, it's been almost 6 minutes since Penn State has scored a basket, and the Panthers go to some changes as Krauser comes back in along with Taft and McCarroll back out there. A little bit of a foul problem for Troutman. That was his second, so he'll probably set the final 5 minutes of the opening half. Inside, Taft puts it up and in. You're right, it's too easy sometimes.
It's just, you give them one crack in the door and they find it and make it look so simple, and that is the sign of a good basketball team.
Team that has been to the Sweet 16 each of the last 2 years. Summers from outside. Too strong, McCarroll. He was the only one there for the rebound. There were no blue shirts around.
Yeah, Yagla got pushed a bit, and boy, they were slow to match up in transition.
Page at 2, he's got 7, and the Panthers lead grows. They're up by 25 with 4:46 to go.
A standing ovation from the home crowd who braved the weather to come out and enjoy what has been all home team today. The Lions have been stuck on 7 for a long time. Look at that nice simple pass, but in transition, John, you can't be that open.
It is a 30-second timeout, and the latest run for Pittsburgh grows to 11 points in a row.
I believe that Somebody should walk up and whack that scoreboard. That 7 has been up there for a long time for the Nittany Lions.
Been up there for about 6.5 minutes.
Well, one of the things, and again, you're dealing with young guards. We talked about that. Luber's a freshman. You've got a lot of new faces for the Nittany Lions. The hardest thing to get young players to learn to do is get to the secondary and the third options in their offense. And I haven't seen Penn State once really get in the lane, kick it out, make them chase, get it back in the lane. Once it gets in the lane, it's shot or turnover, and the possession ends. And Pitt has scored every which way. In the lane, out of the lane, transition, drives, kicks. They've done a little bit of everything, and they've played very well.
Luber will walk it up. Yagla goes back to the Penn State bench. We've got a foul inside.
Illegal screen, I believe,
on Ekakazi.
Yes,
That'll be his second.
That is when you're trying too hard. You just, that players know it. Believe me, they know they haven't scored since like the French and Indian War here, and they want a basket in the worst way. You try too hard to get your teammate free, get an illegal screen, and it results in that turnover.
Page backs his way in, puts up the turnaround jumper, rims out. Here comes Smith back the other way.
Casey with the good, strong rebound. He wants it inside. He's working. Casey says, we're going to get a bucket somehow here.
And so he has to come all the way out to the top of the circle.
Good ball movement, but again, it's a lot of east-west stuff. Nobody holding the ball over your head. Nobody really a threat to go around anyone.
Riley Smith tries to put it up, and it goes into the hands of Taft, knocked out of bounds from behind, and he touched it last. So Penn State will keep it as we have a break. 3:54 to go in the half. It's all Pittsburgh. They lead it by 25 points.
Get your certified pre-owned BMW only at an authorized BMW center.
I have to read the Wall Street Journal every day. If I don't, I feel I've missed something. There's stuff that I read about, articles about large businesses or small businesses and the things that they're doing to succeed. And then I try and take that and apply that to my little company.
Most surprising thing about the Journal, I like to read it.
Get early morning delivery of the Journal for just 45 cents a day. That's 50% off the regular rate. Call 800-238-5300. That's 800-238-5300 for the Wall Street Journal.
Rorick Mazda is your Mazda connection with one of the largest selections of new Mazdas in all of Pittsburgh. Now is the best time to buy during Rorick's huge Mazda sell-off. 2003 Protegés and MPVs are in stock and must go now. Rebates are up to $2,500 or save in financing with 0% APRs. Stop by Rorick Mazda on easy-to-find West Liberty Avenue and test drive the hot new RX-8 for 2004. Hurry, the savings and selection are right now at the Mazda sell-off, only at Rorick Mazda.
A lot of banks today are so big and impersonal, it's hard for them to really get to know their customers. But Charleroi Federal takes a friendlier approach to banking. We're a true community bank, offering loans to home buyers right in the neighborhoods we're located in. Plus, we provide a full range of services from savings and checking accounts to home equity loans. For personal-friendly, full-service banking you can get comfortable with, visit Charleroi Federal near you. We'll make you feel right at home.
Less than 4 to play, and it's been almost 8 minutes since the Nittany Lions have scored, and thus it is 32-7. Let's check some other college basketball action. Top 25 in Arizona.
A bit of a scare there, huh?
St. Louis took them to the wire, apparently.
Oh,
and
another
Kentucky
scare.
squeaking past Ben Howland's new team. Arkansas winner over Illinois. The 11th ranked team in the country goes down by 13. Florida, a 13-point winner against Stetson. Oklahoma, that was a good matchup, number 14 and number 5, and the Sooners win it.
Some interesting scores from college basketball across the country, and that one, of course, postponed because of snow.
No game at the Meadowlands.
No.
Well, we had some high school football games here in this area, state playoff games that were postponed because of the foot or so of snow that fell.
But you played in any weather in football. What's that about, John?
I understand what you're saying. Knocked right back into the hands of Krause. He penetrates, kicks it off to Jerron Brown. Spins off the baseline, has it knocked away. Goes out of bounds. It belongs to Pittsburgh.
Well, you mentioned that earlier, John. Now, on top of everything else, they're getting every loose ball in the game. Any ball that pops free, they are finding a way to retain possession. Short shot clock here, down to 8.
And the Panthers in control because Penn State has missed its last 10 shots. Brown for 3, short. Into the hands that time of Riley Smith. He gets it to Luber. Stops, pops, and comes up short. Another loose ball goes out of bounds, and this one belongs to the Nittany Lions.
Well, that was really, quite honestly, too easy a shot for Pitt with the shot clock down to like 4. They hadn't run anything. They made one pass and got a wide open look, even though it didn't go in.
Summers inside, has to go back to Luber. He'll back it away. They've got the fresh clock. We've got 3 minutes left in the half. And it's over 8 minutes now since the Penn State Nittany Lions have put the ball in the basket. What a struggle it has been for them.
Okay, that's it. Keep the ball moving.
Good look for Luber, and he hits it.
Well, that's the first time we've seen them do that, John. In the lane, and then throw it back out of the lane. Make them chase you a little bit. Luber, as we said, he gets free. He can knock it down. A good look that time.
2.5 to go in the opening half. They went 9 minutes and 5 seconds without a basket. You can't do that against a team like Pittsburgh.
Look how effortless. This is about 8 passes on this possession. 4 ball reversals. Guys posting up. Good spacing. Good patience.
Shot clock inside 10. Feed to Brown.
That is the cherry on top of the sundae right there, because that was a terrific team possession. They are really playing well together this afternoon.
2 minutes to go. It's 34-9. The dump down inside. Igakazi draws a crowd, gets it back, puts it up, and draws the foul.
Well, that was nothing but the sheer force of his will. He was double teamed, had it blocked once. Would not be denied.
Now that will be on Taft. That'll be his first foul, and it's the first chance at the free throw line for Penn State.
First of all, look at the spacing there. Did you see when the camera came on there, the shot came on? There were only 2 players in the picture. The offensive player and the man guarding him, which means there's plenty of room for cutters, and they exploited it perfectly to get the layup. Pittsburgh, on top of everything else, spacing the floor very well, as you saw in that possession.
Igakazi was a part-time starter a year ago, and he averaged only 2.5 points a game, so he is improved drastically on that. He's right around 10 a game. He's out of Augusta, Georgia, and he makes 1 of 2 at the line and then almost commits a foul as Page gets it back with less than 2 to play in the half.
You got a 7-footer in the ball game for Pittsburgh. The freshman Aaron Gray checks in, and got some big bodies out there.
From Emmaus, Pennsylvania. 7'0", 280. Krauser for 3. Off the mark. Tracked down by Yagla. Gets it to Luber. Here come the Lions. Stolen away by Brown. He'll be chased by Smith, and Brown lays it home.
There's never a time on the floor, ever, where offensively or defensively you don't see the ball, and Brown knows that. He saw it, got a steal.
Good feed that time, and the freshman up to greet him, but Aaron will pick up his first foul.
Crowd excited about that. They thought the big fella had a block.
Well, Aaron's uncle, Steve, played on some great teams at Duke.
Final 4 team in the late 70s. Take a look right here. He does kind of whack him in the schnoz with the follow-through, so I guess it's a good call, but a good effort. Big guy says, I'm not going to just let you have that one.
And does not get the roll. Well, Brown is everywhere when he needs to be. He's the guy that the Panthers look to. He is a 5th-year senior. He graduated last spring, and he just does it all.
Bit of a freshman pass there. You can't make that one at this level. You have a lazy bounce pass, but again, give Brown credit. He saw the ball and reacted quickly.
2 of 4 for Igakazi at the free throw line. Panthers will put it in play with 1:20 to go in the half. 36-11 is the score. Panthers scored the first 6 points of the afternoon, and Bob, they really haven't looked back since.
No, they have. You can't think of 2 possessions back-to-back where they haven't been efficient.
Taft against Yagla. Jump hook. Good.
Oh, my goodness. If it were chess, I think Ed DeChellis might knock over the king.
Well, they have shocked them with a quick start here. Certainly their best first half by far this season for Pittsburgh. They have done everything right defensively and offensively. Luber puts up an acrobatic shot that had no chance.
Well, again, trying a little bit too hard. Might be better off kicking that one back out. Look for a spot-up jump shot.
Another jump hook. This one's going to be short. Knocked out of bounds. And the Panthers will keep it.
Well, that was not sure about that. If anything, it was a foul on Yagla, but I think the ball was last touched by the big fella Gray. But I guess maybe they kind of negated each other, so it wound up in Pittsburgh's hands.
When we get to halftime, we'll have our early edition of the Big East Wire. Yagla fighting for the ball, but Krauser goes up with the shot and draws the foul.
You know what is worth pointing out, though? Ed DeChellis knows this drill. He did it down in the Southern Conference where he built a program from basically nothing to an NCAA tournament team, bumped it up one step at a time, and he has the advantage of knowing this program. A long-time assistant here. He played there, and I believe he will do it the same way here, one step at a time. They're off to a good start. They're 3-1, could be 4-0. Lost that Georgetown game on a very strange play at the end, and so this will be a significant building block for his team this year.
Krauser at the line, 2 of 2 so far, and we mentioned the fact that DeChellis from Monaca, and his family is here. They're down in that corner, and tucked away in the corner is his wife, Kim. And the whole family. Of course, he played at Penn State, was a longtime assistant, about a decade, going all the way back to the Dick Harder days. He was involved in Penn State basketball.
That's why coaches love their wives, because when they're down 38-11, the wives can still be smiling while the coaches are ready to fling themselves off the roofs of buildings.
He hits 1 of 2 for the Pittsburgh Panthers. There is Jacqueline. Very comfortable day. I'm sure that's Panther blue she's wearing.
A contented look on her face for good reason.
Smith works on Page, finds Egakazi. Yagla to the baseline. Jumper blocked and out of bounds.
And they fly to the basketball.
Yagla pleading for a foul call, but he was greeted by not 1 but 2 Panthers.
That's every time the ball's in a position where they can hurt you. The team reaction is terrific. Not only to the ball, but the guys away from the ball covering for the man who goes to help.
They're going to have to put it up now in the closing seconds. Luber, Yagla.
Look at the
and he's fouled that time.
It's too bad because that's what I was talking about. He gave the up fake, beat his man, and who comes and gets him with the point guard? Krauser comes over to get a hand up. Unfortunately for Krauser, bumps him and it turns into a 1-on-1. Made the right play, just a bad execution.
Yagla, 78% free throw shooter with just 1 tick left on the first half clock. Pittsburgh comfortably in front. Man, he misses the front end of the 1-and-1, but the Panthers tip it out of bounds as we have the horn. The Big East Wire is coming up. It has been all Pittsburgh Panthers. 5th-year senior Jerron Brown, part of a good first half show for the Panthers. They lead it 39-11.
Personal commitment to a group effort. That's what makes a team work. Not skill, not size or strength, but one group fighting for one goal. Together. That's victory. That's a team. The NCAA Fall Championships on ESPN.
My great-great-grandfather, D.G. Yingling, came to Pottsville in 1829 with aspirations of being in the beer industry. We've been around for almost 2 centuries, and there's been a few challenges. From the Civil War to Prohibition, then in the 50s and 60s, the big corporate breweries began to dominate the industry. It took a while, but people now appreciate the taste of a handcrafted beer. There is only one oldest, and we're proud of that.
Subway's delicious low-fat sandwiches won't make up for listing Mr. Whiskers as a tax deduction. But with over 15,000 combinations under 6 grams of fat made just the way you wanted, he'll help make up for your fast food foibles. Subway, good, so you don't always have to be. Subway's turkey sandwich won't make up for your performance at the office party. But with thousands of delicious combinations of low-fat ingredients, it will help atone for your recent deep-fried badness. Subway, good, so you don't always have to be.
Welcome to Lavalife's Temptation Telephone. Right now, callers are recording their personal profiles and listening to other callers' profiles. Some are even chatting live. Sparks are flying as strangers are becoming friends. Let's meet some of the players. Sarah's in banking. Her passions include golf and golf. She's just met another golf fan and they're talking right now. Need some tips on your swing? Max makes up for his 2 left feet by working wonders in the kitchen. Right now, you could be swapping recipes with him. Renata runs a media company and is looking for someone to keep up with her. She makes friends fast and has been talking to so many people tonight. Mike heads up an IT department, loves animals, and romantic walks to the convenience store. Don't wait. Whatever you're looking for, a date, friendship, or fantasy, it's all happening right now on Lavalife's Temptation Telephone. Thousands of singles in your area are calling every day. It's safe, easy, and confidential. Plus, it's free to call. Temptation is calling. Call Lavalife now.
Welcome back to halftime of today's matchup between Pittsburgh and Penn State University, and we kick off our halftime by checking out today's edition of the Big East Wire. Preseason picks in the conference for the coming season. Well, you start with the team that was number one, UConn, led by Jim Calhoun, and of course inside their big player is Emeka Okafor. He's the Big East preseason player of the year and the preseason pick of the year for many places in the country. He is a dominant force inside, blocking shots and rebounding. And outside, he gets plenty of help from Ben Gordon. The junior guard is off to a terrific start this year, leading the Huskies in scoring. Number 2 pick in the preseason poll, the defending national champions Syracuse, who will have to recover from the loss of their leader from last year, Carmelo Anthony. But it's Hakeem Warwick, number 1. He can dunk, rebound as well. Outside, the shooting of Gary McNamara, one of the sweetest strokes in the conference. Notre Dame head coach Mike Brey looking for his leader, junior point guard Chris Thomas, the playmaker who can score, and he'll have to get his powerful front line involved. Corinne Francis, Jordan Cornette, and Tom Timmermans. The number 4 pick in the preseason poll by the coaches, the University of Pittsburgh, led by number 1 high-flying Julius Page. He'll carry the load for first-year head coach Jamie Dixon. Inside, you get Siobhan Troutman and Torrey Morris to do the job for the Panthers. They are strong. They are veterans. Most of their key players are back. Number 5 pick is Providence. First team All Big East pick Ryan Gomes looks to continue his success from last year. He averaged 18 points, 9 boards a game, and Coach Tim Welsh is excited with the prospects. Preseason rankings in the Big East Conference, and they are the number 5 pick in the preseason poll. Overall, you look at them, they stack up like this. UConn, a near unanimous choice for number 1, then Syracuse, Notre Dame, Pittsburgh, Providence, Rutgers, and Virginia Tech. Down at the bottom, remember the bottom 2 teams will not qualify for the tournament again this year, even though it's only 1 division. There's no 2-division breakdown. We have more to come as we continue at halftime. It's the Nittany Lions and the Panthers. We'll have some top 25 NCAA college basketball scores after this.
Get your certified pre-owned BMW only at an authorized BMW center.
The Baltimore Harbor is right here at the Baltimore House on Curry Hollow Road. And now, so is a little of Japan with the new hibachi room at the Baltimore House. Enjoy authentic Japanese cooking, including hibachi and sushi. You'll think you're in Japan, not the South Hills. Don't forget to enjoy the Baltimore House's live entertainment every weekend. Enjoy a great meal, then stick around for great nightlife. The Baltimore House on Curry Hollow Road in the South Hills. Now more than ever, something for every taste.
Panthers Weekly, presented by the Barrow family of dealerships, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Fox Sports Net. A show that goes behind the scenes with Panther Athletics.
As a little kid, I envisioned myself being in this position, but also understand that I have to seize the moment.
Plus, in-depth conversations with head coaches Jamie Dixon and Walt Harris. Panthers Weekly, taking you deep inside the world of Pitt athletics. Tuesdays at 7 p.m. on Fox Sports Net.
At Straub Brewery, our brewing process has remained virtually unchanged since our great-great-grandfather Peter Straub perfected it in 1872. Fresh spring-fed mountain water is mixed with all natural ingredients and no preservatives. You can enjoy the company of a double cold filtered Straub's anytime, anywhere.
Straub Beer.
and Straub Light. Beer in all its glory.
Here in Pittsburgh, number 22, the Panthers leading 39-11. Miserable first half of the Nittany Lions. Let's see what else is going on in top 25 basketball. Duke a winner over St. John's, 79-58. And there was that squeaker we saw earlier, Arizona just sneaking by St. Louis. These are top 25 games. Kentucky a 2-point win at UCLA this afternoon. And then Arkansas knocking off Illinois. And Florida defeats Stetson. Oklahoma squeaking past Michigan State in overtime. Good matchup of top 25 teams there in Norman. 75-57 Purdue over Chicago State. And in the Big East, it is George Washington, a winner over West Virginia 70-64 at GW. BC squeaks by UMass in overtime 76-75. And Ohio State beats Virginia Tech 62-57. Seth Greenberg in his first year there, and Snow took care of East Carolina and Seton Hall. We're still at halftime. We'll check out some of our first half highlights. They deal with the Panthers. They've been in control throughout.
Advance Auto Parts. No matter when or where.
Your car is your freedom. However, you never know what problems lie ahead. But we're ready in advance with brand names you trust. Monroe, Bendix, Purolator, all in stock at ready-to-go low prices. The road is calling, so bring it on. We're ready in advance.
For the best parts, people and price, we're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on.
I'm a senior at the University of Pittsburgh, majoring in environmental studies and political science. I chose Pitt because I wanted an academic challenge. Throughout Pitt, there are many nationally ranked programs, from the writing program to medicine to philosophy. So many talented students are here. More Marshall and Rhodes Scholars have come out of Pitt in the last 15 years than any other college in Pennsylvania. The opportunities here are limitless. Coming to Pitt was the best decision I ever made.
Don't throw your money out the window. Come to the new #1 Cochran Hyundai Superstore, where you get so much more for thousands less.
This week, get Hyundai Accents from just $73.88. Elantras with auto and air from just $97.88. Save big on over 500 Hyundais, all with America's best warranty. Now at the new #1 Cochran Hyundai Superstore.
Winter is in the air, and gas bills are going through the roof. Hi, I'm Paul Steigerwald. My house is 78 years old, and so are my windows. It's time for them to go. I'm replacing them with Pittsburgh's best windows, the Park Avenue Collection, featuring an exclusive EMAX 3 triple pane glass system and virgin vinyl construction. Park Avenue windows are installed exclusively in the Pittsburgh area by PNC Replacement. They carry a 50-year guarantee. Transform your home with this fantastic deal. Buy 7 windows for the price of 5, or 5 windows for the price of 3. Call PNC Replacement now at 800-348-5654 or log on to pittsburghsbestwindows.com. 7 beautiful, energy-efficient Park Avenue windows for the price of 5, or 5 for the price of 3. Call now. These beautiful Park Avenue windows from PNC Replacement have exceeded our highest expectations. Call PNC Replacement now for a free window inspection at 1-800-348-5654.
Pittsburgh apparently headed for win number 20 in a row in their brand new Peterson Events Center. We're still at halftime as we welcome you back to Pittsburgh on this snowy day in western Pennsylvania. Along with Bob Valvano, I'm John Sanders. You take a look at the highlights from the first half, and it's all Pittsburgh.
If it was a radio station, it would be all Pittsburgh all the time. They have done it every way imaginable, as you can get a chance to take a look at it. First, they did it on the inside. Watching transition, the miss. There's the stick back. They do it inside. Troutman with the foul. They do it outside. Krauser hits the 3. They do it with some easy buckets. Watch Taft run the floor, get the pass from Krauser, put it right in the goal. They did it when the defense extended with great ball movement and cuts. You see Taft hit Brown. He makes the layup, and they did it with defense. You see Brown makes the steal, goes ahead of the field, gets the easy lay, and that's about it. As I said, unless you had special teams, covered every aspect there. Inside, outside, defense, transition. Pitt's done it all.
Yeah, Pittsburgh did a terrific job, by far their best half of the season. They're in control at 39-11, but we've got another 20 minutes of basketball coming up from Pittsburgh. Stay with us. Back after this.
The more you discover about the Hyundai Elantra, the more it makes sense. It's loaded with standard features like AC and power everything. Plus, only Hyundai has America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. It's $1,600 less than a Honda Civic LX when comparably equipped. In fact, the 2004 Hyundai Elantra starts at just $13,889. When your car makes this much sense, you win. Come in now for your last chance to get a great deal on all 2003 models.
The question she had was a universal one. What do men want? Well, there are a few essentials that every man's wardrobe should have, from classic choices to more contemporary looks. Because what men want, well, that's complicated. But what they need, now that we know something about.
Happy holidays from the Men's Warehouse.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
From the heart of Yingling country comes a new beer. Enjoy a light lager tonight.
You know, it's tough to get the family around the table these days.
Where's he going?
Places to go.
I'll be right back. And where's she going?
Things to do.
I'll go find out.
Maybe you need a new family. Or maybe all you really need is a new table. Olhausen, America's favorite pool table.
As we showed you with our Hyundai first half highlights, it's been all Pittsburgh, and the stats will not argue with that.
Well, all you got to do is look at the second line down. 57% shooting for Pittsburgh, 15% for Penn State. You magnify that by the fact that they've had 5 free possessions, Pittsburgh, with the difference in turnovers. And when Penn State has tried to take a shot, Pitt's been there to block it. 7 blocks in the first half.
Well, the Nittany Lions had only back-to-back baskets once in the entire first half, had just 11 points. You can see Yagla scored some points early, and then the Panthers really clamped down on him, holding him to 4. Brown in double figures with 10 for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Yagla averaging over 20. We said for them to have any kind of a chance, he had to have a big game. I guess one way to look at it, he scored more than a third of their points. He does have
it's true.
4 of the 11. If you're at DeChellis right now, you're telling your team, look, forget the first half. Let's try and win this half. Let's just worry about we win this half by a few points. Let's build on that, take that into the next game. Stranger things have happened, as we saw in the NBA last night with all those crazy comebacks. You never know how far you'll come back, but obviously the thought right now is not about really winning the game if you're the Nittany Lions, just trying to see if you can cut into this lead. If you're Jamie, you're trying to say to your team, hey, that's done. That's history. Let's build on that and play another great half, and that's we'll see if that's what the Panthers are able to do as they continue to try and hit on all cylinders.
Well, for Penn State, another dose of the Big East is coming up. Their next opponent on December the 10th will be Rutgers. They'll take on the Scarlet Knights inside. Egakazi draws a foul.
Well, good first possession, and you see the whole bench clapping. Obviously, that was the mindset. That half's over. Let's starts from scratch. And Egakazi has played with great effort. He's made some over-anxious plays, but that was a good seal and a good, strong move to the goal.
But his only 2 points have come right here at the free throw line, so that has been it. He's not made a field goal, and he's only made 2 out of 5 from the charity stripe. And we're in the first minute of the second half. Glad to have you along. I'm not sure exactly how many people we get here today, Bob, because of the bad weather, but the roads were cleared well before game time. Troutman has the rebound.
It's actually a pretty good crowd in here, considering that it was a hefty portion of snow that came through here.
It was a brutal night last night. Put it that way.
There you go.
Here's Page outside. Morris, Troutman, they go with the same starting 5. Krause, Page to 3, rimming. Just tipped out, knocked out of bounds, and I believe Oh, it's going to be Nittany Lion basketball.
Well, that was a good look. It was
went down
the way down. It was.
Came back out. The home rims aren't supposed to do that.
Didn't get the memo, evidently. Got a little penetration there, getting a little movement.
Luber tied up in the corner, has to go to Smith. Shot clock inside 15.
Look at that. The team defense for the whole 35 seconds. Very impressive by the Panthers.
Now the Lions need to get off a shot.
Not
Smith
going to.
Lost the dribble. At the buzzer, it's short. Krause the rebound. We talked about his rebounding. He's done a good job this year.
You don't put up the defensive numbers they do without everybody doing their part on the glass, helping to the dribbler.
Well, that was one thing about Brandon Knight. He rebounded well.
Yes, he did. That's why we said Krauser had a lot of big shoes to fill, a lot of areas.
Morris jump hook comes up short. Rebound Jagla. This is Luber with it. Neither team has scored here in the first minute and a half of the second period. He muscled his way inside with that. Didn't even let anybody take the ball away. Unfortunately, it wasn't a very good shot for Smith.
Exactly. Very determined effort, but probably an ill-advised shot.
And he's 0 for 6. That ball is kicked. The Panthers will keep it.
That sums everything up. Long as Smith hasn't scored, he's averaging 11 points a game. Jagla averages over 20. He has 4 points. They're not deep, as we mentioned, and when your big guns are really kept under wraps, there's not a lot of places to turn.
And this is one of the few times we've seen Jamie Dixon on his feet pacing in front of the bench. I guess it's because the Panthers haven't scored in the second half. Morris has it. Inside Troutman, he should finish that one. He does. That's why he shoots about 70%.
Terrific execution, though. High-low, done beautifully. Got to have a lot of things, a lot of little things work well for that to work. The passing angle, the positioning, the footwork, they got all of it done, got the easy layup.
Biggest lead of the afternoon. It's a 30-point edge for the Panthers. Ranked number 22 in the country and maybe headed up. Who knows? There's Luber.
Lots of upsets ahead of them on the ladder today, that's for sure.
Well, the one thing about the Big East, they go back to the single division format this season. But if you're in the elite, and that would be Notre Dame, Syracuse, UConn, Pittsburgh, you're going to have to play those 3 teams twice.
I know that is. Not going to have to worry. But one good thing is you're not going to have to worry about strength of schedule.
No.
Blocked out of bounds, turns it into another turnover, and the Panthers, much to Jamie Dixon's delight, I'm sure, have not let off the gas pedal, at least defensively, at the start of this half.
11 turnovers for the Nittany Lions so far. Krause doesn't even look at the 3. Goes to Page. Panthers very patient. 11 turnovers and only 4 field goals in the entire game for Penn State. It's been that kind of afternoon. Troutman penetrates, kicks it off to Brown. His runner is too strong. Luber had it. Brown goes and gets it back.
Shot clock down to 1. They don't see it.
It'll be a shot clock violation.
That is a little bit of the inexperience. Everyone should see the clock, but Krauser, especially as the point guard, should see. You see, here's the drive. Now watch. Obviously, the ball does not touch the rim, so there's no new shot clock, and that's what led to that violation.
And it's a turnover. Luber for 3. Bending over the backboard.
That's a shot he's got to make. Ed DeChello still clapping his hands, saying, nice pass. Those are the kind of looks he wants. And as we said, that young man capable of knocking that shot down.
The freshman Taft will check back in for the Panthers. Morris lost it inside. Jagla comes out of there with it. This is Luber, bumped by Krause. Smith from long range, and that one is good.
They've had a hard time doing that. It looks like a simple thing, but Pittsburgh makes it very tough for you to get in the lane and find the shooter. I've talked about probably from the start of the game that's what Penn State's going to have to try and do, and Pittsburgh's made it very difficult for them.
7th three-pointer this year for Marlon Smith. Nittany Lions get their first basket of the second half. Brown goes out to Krause. Steps toward the lane. No place to go.
Second violation.
Well, the Panthers will turn it over and take us to another timeout with 15:38 to play. Pitt 41, Penn State 14.
Cooper Tire is proud to be the official tire of the Big East Conference. Cooper Tires, don't give up a thing.
Ponder this. You get what? About 5 new cars in your life? One mistake and boom, 4 prime years gone. However, slip behind 260 supercharged horses in the most powerful, best-handling driving machine in its class, and your life will still go by fast. But this time, it'll be a real good fast. The 2004 Grand Prix with Comp G, the new powered Pontiac. That's fuel for the soul.
The largest Dodge Chrysler Jeep dealer in the greater Pittsburgh area, Preston Dodge Chrysler Jeep, now has Nissan. And their goal is to become the largest volume Nissan dealer in Western PA. Over 100 Nissans now available. All the hottest 2004s, like the Maxima, Ultima, 350Z, Murano, and the Pathfinder Armada. Now with incredible savings, like financing as low as 0.9%, or rebates up to $3,500. Drive a 2004 Nissan Ultima, just $199 a month. Preston Nissan, now located next to Preston Dodge Chrysler Jeep on Route 51 in Beaver Falls, just 1 mile off Route 60.
Duquesne basketball is here, and the action is heating up. Don't miss the Duquesne Dukes all season long for high-flying, fast-paced college basketball action. For ticket information, call today at 412-232-DUKE. Dukes basketball. Be there.
Well, the architect of a great success at Pittsburgh, Brandon Knight, with his new baby, and working the phone a little bit on the sidelines here. His senior class, the greatest in the history of the university. Better than Charles Smith, Jerome Lane, that group, but that's only going to last until the end of this year.
Well, that's true.
And another senior class will have more wins.
Well, you're talking to Ben Howland, though. You can almost trace the uptick of the program with that young man's development. He really, as his game progressed, so did the program's progress go up the ladder.
Yagla gets inside and lays it home. One of the amazing things about him was the fact that Seton Hall didn't go after him, even though he went to Seton Hall Prep.
We all let some get away.
It does happen, doesn't it?
Nice execution, Page. Oh, but the offensive foul.
Yeah, somebody blocked underneath.
Going to be on Krauser, I think.
It'll be his second, so Carl picks up number 2. We were talking at halftime about whether or not they could maintain the pace that they saw in the first half, and for the first 5 minutes of the second half, the answer is no. But that's to be expected.
Yeah, but defensively is where they've kept it up, though. They haven't let up very much at this end.
Yagla. Egakazi gets his first basket.
That was a nice look by the big fella. Quick touch pass.
And that's 3 baskets in a row. That is the biggest run for Penn State today. It's 41-18. Natives are getting restless.
Well, offensively, you make the point, John. They are not as sharp as they were in the first half. A lot of east-west stuff here as well. A little sloppy pass, almost a turnover.
Yagla going for the steal, couldn't get it right in front of the Pittsburgh bench. It's a 7-0 run right now with the 3 field goals, one of them a three-pointer.
Still good news, bad news joke. The bad news, though, is that it only cuts it to 41.
That's exactly right. There's a long way to go up that mountain yet. And hard to think you're going to get there against a team like Pittsburgh. But
as I said, you play a half at a time. You try and win this half.
Brown gets penetration and draws the foul.
But you can't overstate that. That is such an important skill he brings to the table. This guy his size has the ability to put it to the floor, get inside, draw the fouls, make the defense start chasing. Once the defense starts chasing you, good things happen. You get offensive rebounds. He's done that all day.
That foul was on Marlon Smith. It is his first. We are just about 6 minutes into this second half. The Panthers taking their time, as they did with almost all of their offensive sets in the first half.
Yeah, but they were much more efficient in the first half. This has been a little bit, a half step down, but as you said, a little bit of human nature there.
Three-pointer, Page rims out. Scramble for the rebound, and this time the loose ball goes to the Nittany Lions.
They were getting all of those in the first half, the Panthers.
Trying to extend their run, which is 7 points in a row. Travel.
Krauser did a nice thing right there called help and recover. Looked like one of the perimeter players was beat. He ran to help on the dribble on Smith, and then still was able to get back to his man to not allow the jump shot from the perimeter. When they threw it into the post, they got the turnover. If he doesn't do that, somebody on the outside is going to get a wide open look.
The Panthers have only scored 2 points in the first 6.5 minutes of the second half. pattern of slow first halves for the Pittsburgh Panthers ended today, but the second half a little shaky offensively until Brown nails his 12th point.
Great skill. Just a terrific ability to put it to the floor. As we talked about, make those little mid-range shots.
Riley Smith has been kind of quiet, averaging in double figures coming in. Yagla leans in and gets the roll. You don't see him do a lot of that. He normally will stay back, shoot the turnaround shot.
He likes to shoot the turnarounds and the jumpers, but that was a good move putting it to the floor.
So the run for Penn State was 7-0. The Pittsburgh Panthers stopping that.
See, now you see Pittsburgh playing kind of with their backs to the basket a little bit more.
Krauser gets inside and nails it off the glass. He's got double figures with 10. He's averaging on the year 18 points a game.
Well, they're doing it more off of bursts off the dribble. First half, there was nice ball movement passing. Now they're just taking advantage of matchups, which is fine as long as you score, but it's a little different look.
Yagla along the baseline gets Troutman in the air and puts up a hook that rolls home.
He's got an array of moves in there. We've seen him score the little turnaround jumper, the standstill jumper, 10 points now there. He's got offensive, a lot of weapons in that arsenal.
Well, one thing I've noticed for a little bit is the Lions have spread their offense a little bit more in terms of widening it out, and therefore they've been able to get inside more.
Yeah, good, better spacing. It all starts with spacing.
Smith, Krauser chasing as Page trails. Beautiful spin move. But the Panthers get it back, and here's Taft, the freshman, slams it on.
That's, in a nutshell, what has been Penn State's problem today. You make a good play, instead of getting a run-out basket, it winds up being a dunk back at the other end. Pittsburgh takes advantage of every mistake.
That was a beautiful spin move that Smith made. Now he turns it over. Page from Krauser. Krauser takes it in and draws the foul from Luber. That'll be his second.
That is what you have to do to be successful, and unfortunately, Penn State's going to have to learn it. It was an impressive-looking move by Smith, but with numbers on the break there, you got to get better than that, and you see the difference at the other end. Krauser comes down with numbers, and he's taking it to the basket. He's either going to get to the line or he's going to get somebody a layup.
Now for Pittsburgh, McCarroll, Graves, Morris set to return. Krauser is 4 of 5 at the free throw line. The redshirt sophomore from the Bronx has 11. You look at some of the Pittsburgh recruits that are coming in. Another guard, 6'2", Keith Benjamin from Mount Vernon. Ronald Ramon from the Bronx, he's 6'1". And John DeGrant from Monticello, New York, who's now playing junior college in Colorado.
They have really done very, very well in the metropolitan area of New York and New York State overall, but certainly New York City area.
Well, I think you give a lot of that credit to Barry Rorson.
St. Francis of New York alum, former stomping grounds. Got to give the Terriers a plug.
Stripped away, but a foul called. It's going to be on Morris. That'll be the third on the Panthers center.
I talked to Barry before the game as you get another look at this. The bounce pass inside. Yagla coming to life here. Steps away from the help. Good call. Now hit across the back there. He'll go to get a chance to go to the line.
And he's 0 for 2 at the free throw line.
Barry Rorson, told me before the game that he actually was thinking very seriously of going with Ben Howland to UCLA, and he and Jamie Dixon recruited the crux of this team, these New York players, and felt very strongly he wanted to stay, and so he's back here, and they got a great group.
Well, it's interesting to note that Pat Sandel, who had been here, went to UCLA, and he came back. We've got a timeout.
The Hyundai Santa Fe is making more sense to more people. It's loaded with standard features and costs $1,300 less than a Toyota RAV4 when comparably equipped. And only Hyundai has America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. Test drive the 2004 Hyundai Santa Fe, starting at just $18,084 with Sport Utility Package. With Hyundai, you win. Get a 2004 Santa Fe with up to $2,000 cash back or 0% APR.
Advance Auto Parts, no matter when or where. Advance Auto Parts, whatever's waiting there around these parts. Trouble doesn't stand a chance. For the best parts, people and price, we're ready in advance. Yeah, bring it on.
At Straw Brewery, Our brewing process has remained virtually unchanged since our great-great-grandfather Peter Straub perfected it in 1872. Fresh spring-fed mountain water is mixed with all natural ingredients and no preservatives. You can enjoy the company of a double cold filtered Straub's anytime, anywhere.
Straub Beer and Straub Light. Beer in all its glory.
At Mellon Arena, a new breed of champions will be born, forged in ice, destined to dominate. Welcome to the X Generation. Come experience a new breed of Penguins hockey and pick up great promotions and collectibles. Don't miss your chance to see the X Generation tear up the ice.
Come to Mellon Arena when the Pens take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Fans 14 and under get a free Mario Lemieux youth practice jersey courtesy of UPMC. Don't miss a chance at this great jersey and see some explosive hockey.
The X Generation. This year, the ice will burn.
Walt Harris, the Pittsburgh football coach, is in attendance. Glad to have. He comes to a lot of games from the Panthers play here. He's to at the field house, has his team headed back to a bowl game, and obviously still doing a little recruiting. I'm sure it never ends, does it?
No. Recruit or die is the adage that most coaches follow, and you're right, it's a never-ending battle.
Page will run the offense right now with Krauser on the bench. He's working alongside the freshman Graves. This is Brown, steps through, finds Julius Page.
Nice.
Goes around, Yagla takes it in and lays it home.
Once again, a clinic. Into the post, out of the post, back into the high post, find the seam in the defense, dribble penetration, get a layup. Very nice.
50-23 is the score. Penn State still winning the battle of the second half now as he makes that basket. It's 14-11 in favor of Penn State, but a good move for the basket. First basket of the second half for Riley Smith.
That's an awkward little shot there, that little mid-range baseline jumper. A nice touch on it.
It's easy to shoot it too hard or too soft, isn't it?
Well, you're on the board, especially. You certainly can't bank it from there. You gotta have the perfect touch on it. And he did.
Shot clock inside 10. Page with it. Brown lays it up and he draws the foul. That'll be on Yagla. Brown with 14 points. His season high is 19. The basket is good, and Yagla picks up his second.
You can see the shot clock down at the other end of the floor, down to 5, and he makes it as if they had 30 seconds to go. You get another look, the perfect pass. John, if you could figure out how to bottle that or teach it even, you'd do very, very well. But frankly, it is one of those things that only winning experience seems to bring you. The confidence that there's no reason to panic. Short shot clock, we'll do what we do. And we've seen them do that about 3 or 4 times today. Get exactly the shot they wanted, even though the shot clock was way down.
There's the 7-footer with a push-off and a foul. And he just checked into the lineup and draws the foul. That's his second.
This place will erupt if he can get a dunk or a block. He almost got one in the first half.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's obvious, though, that Jamie Dixon is going to try to get him some minutes and bring him along.
When you're ahead 52-25, now's a good time to do it, no question.
Biggest lead has been 30. They're up by 27 right now. Riley Smith starts to move around Brown, gets down to the baseline, puts up the runner, no good, tipped into the hands of Krauser. Panthers have numbers, 4 on 3. Krauser, little stop and go, back to Brown. Inside, 10 minutes left in the ball game. Graves starts to move, then pulls back, finds Brown along the baseline, and it's knocked away by Penn State. 9:21 to play. Panthers scored the first 6 points of the afternoon and had a dazzling first half.
They have backslid a bit offensively, but they're still making the good effort defensively, and it would have been tough to match that first half performance. They were hitting on every cylinder.
Trying to nurse about a 30-point lead.
That's a nice problem to have.
Yes,
Coach.
it is. It doesn't happen often in college basketball these days.
No, it certainly doesn't, as the top 25 score showed us.
Saved by Brown. There he is again. He's got that 6'8" reach, even though he's only listed at 6'4".
Yeah, he really does play bigger than he is, no doubt.
McCarroll, no place to go.
Maybe a ball reversal here. Need somebody to pop out on this side. Here comes Brown. There he is on the deep baseline.
And McCarroll, the jumper rattles out. Luber has the rebound on the weak side. Back comes Penn State. Keeps his dribble, scoops it up.
It's going to be a charge, I believe.
And it'll be his second.
Well, that's another freshman mistake. This team is too athletic.
Second offensive foul, his third foul of the afternoon.
Well, you watch here as he takes it down the lane. See the good step over there by McCarroll, and that's what they preach here at Pittsburgh. They've done it how many times today, John? We've seen it away from the ball, with the ball. If you are going to advance to the goal, somebody's going to be there to try and challenge it.
Well, the Lions already in the first half of the second half scored more points than they did in the first half altogether.
They're a little bit more relaxed offensively.
Krauser. Brown. 3. No good. But right there to rebound is McCarroll. So the Panthers controlling the glass. Graves gets it inside. Steps through traffic, and he dribbled 3 or 4 times, I think. I thought he got away with one earlier.
It was a rule
he put it
change.
on the court again.
He went to the well once too often.
You're only allowed to pick it up once. He picked it up a couple of times.
Yeah, he was.
That's a foul on McCarroll. He steps out, picks up his first.
Got a little tip check there, and we'll get a timeout.
Julius Page will check back to the Panthers, who are still comfortably in front here at home.
Cooper Tire is proud to be the official tire of the Big East Conference. Cooper Tires, don't give up a thing.
I have to read the Wall Street Journal every day. If I don't, I feel I've missed something.
There's stuff that I read about, articles about large businesses or small businesses and the things that they're doing to succeed. And then I try and take that and apply that to my little company.
Most surprising thing about the Journal, I like to read it.
Get early morning delivery of the Journal for just 45 cents a day. That's 50% off the regular rate. Call 800-238-5300. That's 800-238-5300 for the Wall Street Journal.
My great-great-grandfather, D.G. Yingling, came to Pottsville in 1829 with aspirations of being in the beer industry. We've been around for almost 2 centuries, and there's been a few challenges. From the Civil War to Prohibition, then in the 50s and 60s, the big corporate breweries began to dominate the industry. It took a while, but people now appreciate the taste of a handcrafted beer. There is only one oldest, and we're proud of that.
American-made luxury, style, and elegance. It must be a Cadillac. A commitment to your satisfaction, the area's best selection and service. It can only be Barrel Cadillac. At Barrel Cadillac, Pittsburgh's fastest growing Cadillac retailer, you will always see a great selection of Cadillac's newest vehicles and experience award-winning Cadillac service, including loaner cars and a hand-washed vehicle after any service appointment. Barrel Cadillac, Route 19, Wexford. More of what you're looking for.
It is 52-25, Penn State in front. Let's take a look at our BMW ultimate drive of the game. We've seen a lot of these.
But again, this is what good teams do. They get a bunch of easy baskets, and not much easier than this. Krauser very calmly finds Brown ahead of the field. He checks where the defender is and says, I got you.
Well, Brown has 7 field goals himself this afternoon. The entire Penn State team has 10. It has just been a miserable afternoon for the Nittany Lions. That shot is short, but tracked down by Riley Smith. Leans in along the baseline, hits a tougher shot.
The first one was too easy. Said, I'm on balance. I need to get a little crooked here.
7.5 to go.
Good follow.
Stayed with it. There's been a bit more life in the second half to Penn State.
Yeah, their offenses look better. There's no question about that.
Gray to Krauser. Now Page. Squares up, but misses the shot. Tipped away and into the hands of Yagla. He starts back, finds Luber on the right wing. Now inside, again it's Yagla.
That's where it had to go.
Here comes Luber, no place there.
So, well, good. Throw that back in there again. Go in the post, out of the post.
Riley Smith for 3, and that time he rattles it home.
He's feeling it now.
He's got his second three-pointer, and he is in double figures with 10.
About what he averages, a little bit more than 10, 10.5.
52-30. Well, they have cut 6 points off the Pittsburgh lead here in the second half. Brown misses from short range. Yagla, back come the Lions. Luber, a little strong and right into the hands of Page. Baseball pass to Troutman, not a good idea as Luber is there, and He has an up-close and personal meeting with Jamie Dixon.
Yes, it's a good way to get to know the other coach. Dive right into his bench. But good hustle play by Luber. You know, one of the things, though, about that is you just had a guy who made 2 shots in a row in a day where your offense has struggled. Maybe you want to put the ball in his hands again. Let Smith have a touch there. Wasn't a bad shot by Luber, but again, with a little more experience, maybe he tries to find a hot man.
LeBron Kendall is checked into the lineup, a red shirt from Canada. He's from Vancouver, British Columbia, played for the Canadian junior national team. Gray fights it up and in.
Nice pass along the baseline, though, by Troutman. He had to make a quick decision. He caught it, spun, found the open man. The big guy got it down.
Aaron Gray averaged 20 points, 15 rebounds a game in high school. Of course, that'll happen if you're 7 feet tall. Luber comes up short, and there's Page. All these Panther perimeter players have those long arms, and they can go up and get the basketball.
Oh, I love teams like that. I love when your wings are long and rebound as a team. That's the best way to dominate the backboards, and this team has so far this year.
Tries to go to Gray, but turns it over as Luber starts back for the Lions. Knocked away by Gray. Page trailing is Krauser, and Julius can sky.
They don't make mistakes. You give them a chance off of a turnover. They have not made a mistake all day. The Panthers, good finish there.
11 points for Julius, just over 5 minutes to go. Panthers led by 28 at halftime. The edge now is 26, and it's going to stay that way because Troutman up for the rebound.
And Riley Smith had made a couple there, and like I said, it's nice to get the ball back in his hands. They could use a little flow.
Good feed inside, and the foul is drawn. So the Panthers will go to the line.
If big men will run, and it sounds easier than it is, it's amazing how many easy opportunities they'll get, either layups or get to the line. And you saw the big guy there, Gray, just beat them down the floor. You saw it earlier in the first half. Taft did it, John. If you get your big people, will just get their butts underneath that goal, get some easy ones.
Keep running, you're going to get it back a lot, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. No question. Because that other big guy, he's not a lot fond of chasing you down the floor.
That's true. Page will sit. Graves checks in for him. Well, right now, the Panthers with 3 freshmen on the court. They've got another one, Taft, set to check in. And he will check in as Gray hits the free throw. So he makes 1 out of 2 at the line. He has 3 points in this trip to the court. Just over 5 to go.
Well, you saw earlier the bench scoring. Not a surprise there. Pitt's bench averaging 18 points a game. Penn State's just 10. So big advantage to the depth of the Panthers.
Team fouls are even at 5 apiece in the second half, and it has been an even second half for the most part. And there's Riley Smith again. That time it's short, and there's Taft at good position for the rebound on the weak side. Krauser starts back.
And he made a couple now, maybe forced it some. Tricky dribble there by Krauser.
He almost tricked himself.
Yes, he did.
Gets it back, puts up a 3. Good.
Very nice. Jamie liked that one, Coach Dixon. So that's what I want to see. Gave it up, made a nice cut, got it back, got the good look for the 3.
He's got 14 points. He's 4 away from his season average. That's his second 3-pointer this afternoon. And the lead goes back to the biggest of 30. So that little run by Penn State is over. A couple of Nittany Lions set to check back in. They'll go back to the bench. His fellows will return. And Jason McDougald will see his first action of the season. Another 3-pointer. I'll tell you one thing. Put back is no good, and a foul is called inside on Taft. That's his second. Torrey Morris is going to return for the University of Pittsburgh. Subs will not come in until after the first free throw by Robert Summers, who's yet to score, and he's only made 3 out of 10 at the free throw line this season. And that's why.
That's not a comfortable looking shot.
Morris in. Troutman will go to the bench. Summers will be replaced if he makes the second. He does. Gives him his first point of the afternoon. 60-31 is the score. Pittsburgh has the lead. They've scored from all the angles, including the high flying Julius Page.
Get your certified pre-owned BMW only at an authorized BMW center.
Own a timeshare? Sell it for cash. Own a campground membership? Sell it for cash. Now's the perfect time to buy, sell, or rent your property for cash. Call right now for your free information kit to buy, sell, or rent your timeshare or campground membership for cash. Don't wait until you have to pay another maintenance fee or tax bill. Call now and turn your timeshare into cash. Be one of the next 200 callers for your free information kit, and we'll include 10 secrets to buy or sell your timeshare by Century 21 Vacation Properties. Buy, sell, or rent your timeshare for cash.
Presenting a sob story. Used to be if you wanted a sob, you had to settle for just any dealer. Then Number One Cochrane added Sob to its luxury lines at the Mega Center. Now Sob buyers can enjoy all the benefits Cadillac and Hummer buyers get when they come in, including the benefit of not coming in. Because if you can't come to us, we'll come to you, which is one sob story with a happy ending.
At Mellon Arena, a new breed of champions will be born, forged in ice, destined to dominate. Welcome to the X Generation. Come experience a new breed of Penguins hockey and pick up great promotions and collectibles. Don't miss your chance to see the X Generation tear up the ice.
Come to Mellon Arena when the Pens take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Fans 14 and under get a free Mario Lemieux youth practice jersey courtesy of UPMC. Don't miss a chance at this great jersey and see some explosive hockey.
The X Generation. This year, the ice will burn.
It is 30-61. Torrey Morris will inbound for the Pittsburgh Panthers, who have been in control of this basketball game since they scored the first 6 points of the afternoon. Kind of a different 4 o'clock start for this game. It was originally scheduled as a night game, then bumped back to 4.
Whatever it is, Penn State should bottle it because they got off to a great start, and they have not been known, as you pointed out earlier, John, for doing that this year.
Graves for 3, rimming out. Taft had the rebound and then was fouled from behind by McDougal.
Well, he's an impressive freshman, that young man.
Yes, he is. Well, they've all been pretty impressive.
He's got a lot of skills and he plays hard.
Also, Ed Turner is in the lineup for the first time this afternoon, the redshirt freshman from Buffalo. Easy Ed Turner. His dad was a player at Texas A&M.
By the same nickname.
Morris, jump hook, missed. Remember, he got off to the great start, made 3 in a row early. Taft with his second try gets it to go.
Look at Taft with the great effort. Got that rebound and kept it up over his head, which is one of the things you try and teach young players so the little guys can't strip it away.
Well, it is the biggest lead of this disappointing afternoon for Penn State. It's now a 31-point Pittsburgh advantage. Taft with a rebound. Back comes Pittsburgh into the hands of Antonio Graves. That's a three-pointer by Turner that goes up and over the backboard out of bounds. Let's take a look at our Cooper Tire Defensive Player of the Game. You could pick any one of about 6 guys so far.
Well, look at the great effort. See Page with the great outlet pass, and it leads to the slam at the other end. Good play by Taft. It was an impressive team effort, not only getting the stop, but getting a quick transition for them.
Now Rob Fletcher has checked in for Penn State, so some guys for the Nittany Lions playing for the first time this season.
They have not been known for a deep bench so far in this young year. Only 8 players have played until today.
They've used a few more, and that one is fumbled along the baseline. McDougal jumps it up no good. Morris just scoops in the rebound.
Was gathered that one in.
Graves gives it off along the baseline. Shot is too strong. There's Taft. That time he missed the easy one. Looked like he had an easy putback.
Yeah, looked like a bunny for him there.
Smith with it. Inside to Fellows. Final 2 minutes. Fellows runs in with a left-hand running hook. The 6'10 junior gets his first 2 points.
Nice move in the post. Didn't get much help. His teammates kind of just looked at him once they threw it in there, and he was one on everybody, but he managed to get it to go down.
Marcus Bowman is going to check in for Pittsburgh as they have pretty much drained the bench. Taft inside again, and there he gets it to go.
So if the statisticians are giving him little rebounds for all those quick first misses, but he's got a lot of numbers.
Well, he got a piece of that one and gets the turnover.
It's a steal, might get an assist.
Graves at the other end scoops it up, no good. Fellows has the rebound, so Graves not able to score. By the way, Taft has matched his career freshman high with 12 points this afternoon.
A lot of those have been effort points, too. How many plays drawn up for him? He's just got rebound stickbacks. Coaches love those guys.
Just over a minute to go. Cameron, no place to go. We'll have to reset. Shot clock headed toward 10 with a minute to go. Oh, nice running effort that time by McDougal.
Well, Penn State may lead the nation in hook shots today. They've had righty hooks, lefty hooks, using a board, clean. A bunch of hook shots today.
And a timeout call. We'll take a break with less than a minute to go. Pittsburgh 64, Penn State 35.
Your car is your freedom. However, you never know what problems lie ahead. But we're ready in advance with brand names you trust. Monroe, Bendix, Purolator, all in stock at ready-to-go low prices. The road is calling, so bring it on. We're ready in advance.
For the best parts, people and price, we're ready in advance.
Yeah, bring it on. Ponder this. You get what? About 5 new cars in your life? One mistake and boom, 4 prime years gone. However, slip behind 260 supercharged horses in the most powerful, best-handling driving machine in its class, and your life will still go by fast. But this time, it'll be a real good fast. The 2004 Grand Prix with Comp G, the new powered Pontiac. That's fuel for the soul.
Welcome to Lavalife's Temptation Telephone. Right now, callers are recording their personal profiles and listening to other callers' profiles. Some are even chatting live. Sparks are flying as strangers are becoming friends. Let's meet some of the players. Sarah's in banking. Her passions include golf and golf. She's just met another golf fan and they're talking right now. Need some tips on your swing? Max makes up for his 2 left feet by working wonders in the kitchen. Right now, you could be swapping recipes with him. Renata runs a media company and is looking for someone to keep up with her. She makes friends fast and has been talking to so many people tonight. Mike heads up an IT department, loves animals, and romantic walks to the convenience store. Don't wait. Whatever you're looking for, a date, friendship, or fantasy, it's all happening right now on Lavalife's Temptation Telephone. Thousands of singles in your area are calling every day. It's safe, easy, and confidential. Plus, it's free to call. Temptation is calling. Call Lavalife now.
Today's NCAA basketball game has been brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. We are back, winding down, and on the court is Charles Small, number 15, and he is that. He is 5'7". Charles, obviously a fan favorite, a little runner, but he's greeted by 3 Lions and has that one back in his face. Cameron almost lost his dribble and does. Panthers get the turnover. This is Small with it. Bowman. That's blocked by McDougal. He gets it back. He will challenge Kendall and has it knocked away out of bounds.
Well, the Panthers were actually running some plays for those guys, which is nice. These are guys that come to practice, work very hard. It's nice that the coaches recognize that and say, let's see if we can get them a touch and a shot here in a game that's well in hand. And obviously the crowd picked up on that, but not able to get anything to go down there.
Fouls on Turner, and that is not how they teach you to shoot free throws, but if you call it, it counts, right?
We have so many Big East historians who watch. I wish somebody would tell. There was a player who played at Seton Hall a long time ago who banked his free
That's
throws.
the way he shot him.
Yes, right? And he was very good. Seton Hall, maybe it was St. Peter's. I was only 7 at the time. I remember seeing it on TV. And he was a good free throw shooter. I've never seen anybody do it since.
Well, if you stop and think about it, it's not that bad an idea.
No.
Just shoot it hard and hope it goes in.
Throw it off that little spot on the window.
That'll do it. 64-37 is the final score. It's a handshake between the 2 head coaches, both in their first year. Pittsburgh scored the first 6 points, went on to an easy win this afternoon. Stay with us. Back with more after this.
Golf Digest is going to cure your slice now and for free.
And that's a guarantee.
Introducing the breakthrough video, Cure Your Slice Now, and it's free with your paid subscription to Golf Digest magazine. In this video, top PGA instructor Chuck Cook shows you the 7 key phases of the swing and gives you his proven method for better control and longer, straighter drives. And here's our guarantee. If Golf Digest and Cure Your Slice Now doesn't cure your slice and improve your game, cancel and keep the video free.
Golf Digest is your source for golf.
Every month in Golf Digest, you get easy-to-follow tips and instruction from the best teachers and players in golf. Information on the top equipment, the best places to play, thought-provoking commentary. You also get this removable Pocket Tips booklet. Call now. Use your credit card and get your first risk-free issue, Pocket Tips booklet and video free. You get 11 more issues for only $19.77. If your game doesn't improve, cancel and keep the video, booklet, and magazine free.
So call 800-543-6200. That's 800-543-6200. Call now.
Final numbers, Pittsburgh wins it easily, 64-37. They had 4 players in double figures. That will not surprise anybody. They had good balance, both offensively and defensively all afternoon. And standing by with the head coach, the new head coach of the Panthers, is Bob Valvano. Bob?
All right, thank you, John. Got to be with a very happy, I haven't asked him that, but I assume you're very happy, Jamie Dixon. What a start to the game. It's not something you guys have been doing this year. You haven't been getting off to good starts. What was the difference today?
Well, our guys really focused on this game. I think they're really excited to play Penn State, and we just came out and did it on the defensive end. That really got us going, and that got our offense going. So it's really the defensive intensity.
We spent a lot of time talking about how good your team is defensively and how good they've been over the last few years. What is the key? How do you guys make teams shoot such a low percentage?
Well, I think we got tough kids, and they compete. They want to do the things it takes to win, and that's what defense is one of them. So they understand the importance of it, and we're just getting better and better. We got so many young kids this year. We got 6 freshmen that we're trying to fit in and learn our system and learn what we're trying to do technique-wise. So as they continue to pick things up, I think our defense will continue to improve.
You can hang your hat on your defense every night, but tonight, or this afternoon rather, your offense, especially at the start of the game, good ball movement, good shot selection. You had to be pleased with that.
Well, we had a good practice yesterday, and I thought the day before, a couple days going in Duquesne, we really practiced well, and we worked on a couple things. We really wanted to work on ball movement, get inside touches against the zone, and just making one more pass, reversing the ball. And our guys really stepped up and did that. I mean, we got good guys that know how to do it, get it done, and they really stepped it up.
You've been here for the run in the Sweet 16s. How much of that translates to the point now, even the new guys come in and there's a sense of, hey, I'm not going to be the guy who loses for the first time in this building. Hey, I'm not going to be the guy who lets the program slide back a bit. Do you sense that with the new guys?
Well, we recruited good kids and good players, and I think we've got a good group coming in this new group. So they're competitive. They won everywhere they've been, and this is they hope to continue it. And it's a good group that's continuing to get better.
What do you make of the Big East with the one division now and having to play so many of the powerful teams? Everybody's got to play each other twice. How do you feel about that as you look at the overall season, and how does it pertain to your team?
Well, obviously we get a tougher schedule because of the way they set it up, but, I'd rather be included in that group and than not be included. And 4 or 5 years ago when I came here, we wouldn't have been in that group. So we're excited to be amongst the elite of the Big East. People consider us, and we hope to continue.
I got bad news for you. You're not ever going to go undefeated in this building. At some point, you're going to lose. At some point, Jamie, it's going to happen.
Well, the guys are working hard, and they take pride in playing in front of. We got a great fans, and we got a great arena, and they love playing here.
Congratulations. Great job today. All right, John, let's go back to you. An impressive performance by the Panthers and their coach, Jamie Dixon.
All right, Bob Valvano, thank you very much. And while Jamie heads to the locker room, we're going to get another Panther in here for an interview, one of the seniors, guy in his 5th year, Jerron Brown, who graduated from the University of Pittsburgh last spring and is a 5th-year senior. We're going to do Jerron Brown first, and we've still got Julius Page to talk to. He's going to sneak around in the background. So wait a minute, Julius, where are you going? Anyway, let's go back once again to Bob Valvano and Jerron Brown.
Looking for a final box, but the heck with it. We got Jerron Brown. That's all we care about. Jerron, congratulations. I was talking with your coach about you guys haven't gotten off to the fastest starts this year, but today you came flying out of the blocks. What was the difference?
Yeah, we've been working on a lot in practice. We think we've been coming out sluggish, so we thought we'd come out with a little bit more excitement, and that's what we did today because Penn State's a rival, so we just tried to come out with a little bit more excitement.
You had an important part in the game today. Of all the things you did, I was talking about how you were able to get in the lane and make things happen. Is that something that you sense that you can bring to this team? Because with your size and quickness, it's tough for matchups for people.
Yeah, when they went to the zone, Coach Jackson said look for the penetration. That's something we've been working on lately, and I think I'm pretty good at it, and that's what I've been trying to do.
How far that's a bad question. I was going to ask you how far can you go. It's too early for that. But I want you to compare this team with the 2 Sweet 16 teams. You got a lot of new players, a little bit of a different personality, but how do they stack up against each other?
I think for the past 2 teams we had experience and we're a little young. So as the season goes on, we getting smarter, and they picking up from the veterans like me, Chevy, Julius, and Carr. So I think by the end of the season we'll be right where we need to be.
Do you feel a sense of obligation to kind of show the young guys, because you do talk about there is a little bit of a lack of experience? What do you try and bring to those young players?
I mean, they pick up things quick, but the things that they don't know, we try to explain to them, and they listen, and they coming along real well. So it's just a good season. Going to be a good season.
How much of an advantage is it to know that you guys haven't been beaten in this building? I mean, when you set foot on the floor, is there a sense of, we're not going to be the team that ends this streak? Is there a sense of confidence that comes with that? What does it do for you as a player?
Every game we come in knowing that we don't want to lose. So knowing we ain't been beat, we just trying to keep that streak alive, and we don't want to get beat.
All right, I got to ask you this. The difference between Coach Allen and Coach Dixon, what's the difference on this team? Is there, in practice, what kind of a difference do you notice?
I think it's more, Coach Dixon's more laid back, but he's also more funnier, too. He has a lot of jokes in practice, but he's a good coach.
Did you watch your former coach in action today? Did you guys watch a little of that game?
Yeah, we was watching a little bit before the game. Before he came out, they was down like 3. I talked to him last night, and he was just talking about a good game. How tough they was going to be.
Well, you guys have a great reputation to build on here, and congratulations on a great win today, John.
Thanks.
All right, let's go back to John Saunders again. Very impressive performance by the Panthers.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. We're going to take a break, and then Brandon Knight's going to join us and talk about this Pittsburgh victory. 64-37 is the final score for number 22 Pittsburgh. Back in a minute.
I have to read the Wall Street Journal every day. If I don't, I feel I've missed something.
Currently, I'm looking at different businesses, and I've used the Wall Street Journal as a jumping off point.
Didn't know how who you tip, who you don't, how do you deal with those types of things. And there's a whole article with a grid on how you handle all of that. So cut it out, stuck it on the refrigerator, and use that.
A couple of weeks ago, I looked at camera equipment relative to an article that I had read in the Wall Street Journal, and I remember reading something about a particular product and went to the electronics store to look for that product, in fact.
There's stuff that I read about, articles about large businesses or small businesses, and the things that they're doing to succeed. And then I try and take that and apply that to my little company.
Most surprising thing about the Journal, I like to read it.
Get early morning delivery of the Journal for just 45 cents a day. That's 50% off the regular rate. Call 800-238-5300. That's 800-238-5300 for the Wall Street Journal.
Earn your college degree in the most efficient way possible at University of Phoenix Online. Invest in your career and personal earning potential with a state-of-the-industry degree. Attend class whenever you want via the internet. Most students earn their degree in just 2 to 3 years. University of Phoenix is the largest private accredited university in the U.S. Call now to explore your career options with a trained counselor. The consultation is free. University of Phoenix Online.
Call 866-596-8669.
64-37 is the final score, and a guy who we talked about who was the architect of a lot of this great success at the University of Pittsburgh. Brandon Knight is back in town to watch his former team play, and he's standing by with our Bob Valvano. Bobby?
All right, John, thanks very much. Brandon, well, we'll talk about what you're doing in your life right now, but tell me a little bit about your impression watching your old team today. They're pretty impressive today.
Definitely. The way they came out today and played defense in the first half, that's the intensity that they need to keep up. It hadn't been there, the first couple of games, but I was very impressed, especially what they did on the defensive end.
You feel a sense of pride, from what the program was when you came here to see where they're playing right now and know that you were part of making a very big part of making it play at this level? That's got to be very satisfying for you. This building was not here when you got here. Very different.
Yeah, it feels good to come back, and get a chance to see these guys play. And it makes me proud when I'm able to go other places and say, that's the team and that's the school I played for. So it's definitely fun to come back and watch and be able to see these guys play.
Well, obviously, a lot of the Pitt fans and college basketball fans in general want to know what's going on with you right now. Where's your playing career taking you?
Well, right now I'm trying to get into the developmental league. So by the end of this month, hopefully I'll be with one of those teams and eventually back in the NBA.
How does that play out? Because the league owns the developmental league, the NBA, so do you have a say where you go, or they just take you and assign you somewhere?
You don't have a say where you go. But what happens is it allows you some flexibility to go back and forth in and out of the league if other teams, like how you've been performing. So that's why I chose to do that rather than run across seas.
Well, you do make more money in the short term in Europe, but it's easier to get back to the show if you're staying in the developmental league, I would think.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about your experience in the NBA. What if you go back to it right now? Obviously, you'll be better prepared. Do you think? What would you know and do differently if you do something differently when you get back there?
Well, really, it's just improving on all aspects of my game. You know, I think a lot of people were afraid I wasn't going to be able to score, so I think that's why a lot of people stayed away from me. But I just feel like it's the same as everything has been in my life. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult than everybody else is taking.
Tell me a little bit about your assessment of your successor here, Carl Krause. What do you think of his play, and what do you think about how he's played so far this season?
I think Carl's going to be great. I think he does a lot of things that I didn't do, you know, and I think sometimes he makes mistakes, but I think people don't give him a chance to make those mistakes. Everybody's trying to compare him to what I've done, you know, and he's played exceptionally well. You know, he's a lot further than where I was my sophomore year, so I'm happy and I'm proud that he's continuing to perform well every night.
All right, Brandon, we wish you the best of luck. Hopefully we'll see you in an NBA uniform again soon. Nice to visit with you.
Thank you.
All right, John, a guy who had more than his share of success with this program, and certainly maybe the poster boy, if you will, for where they were to where they are, one of the nation's best teams, and that guy largely responsible for it.
You are absolutely correct in that statement. Here are some final numbers. The improvement in the second half for Penn State came and they upped their shooting percentage, basically doubled it from what it had been. Pitt fell off a little bit in the second half, but again, tough to maintain the level that they were playing at in the early going. See, the turnover difference was not dramatic, but what Pittsburgh does, as you pointed out, when you make a mistake, they will make you pay for that mistake. They had the 8 blocks, and they wound up with a big edge by 12 in rebounding. So nothing that happened here was really a surprise, except that Pittsburgh played as good a first half as I've seen them play in quite a while.
Well, the thing that I think is actually impressive about it is that they speak so openly about what you said at the top of the show, John, that is that they seem to have been a little flat this year. They weren't making excuses. They were just, hey, we can do better than that. And today was a day they focused to try and answer those things. I think they did a pretty good job.
I think they did an excellent
very
job.
Sharp at the start. And defensively, they hang their hat on that every night. But in terms of intensity and offensive execution, much better today.
You see the upcoming schedule, and this is why that home winning streak, which has now grown to 26 in a row going back to the days at Fitzgerald, is probably going to grow. They've got Youngstown State, Georgetown College, Chicago State, Murray State. They've also got Florida State coming up, so all of those games for the Pittsburgh Panthers will be at home. Top 25 scores. Number 22, Pittsburgh wins easily. You talked about some changes in the top 25, but in the Big East, it is George Washington with a win over West Virginia. GW at home. BC in overtime beats UMass by a point.
BC's going to be an interesting team this year.
Duke rolls to victory over St. John's. And a win for Ohio State against Virginia Tech. Another Big East team on their way out of the Big East, obviously. Rhode Island defeats Providence 75-16. That's in the second half. That's not over yet. So
we'll see Providence in the Jimmy V Classic Tuesday. Looking forward to that.
Don't give up on PC. The Friars might come back in that ball game. And number 1 Kansas in the second half is down by 3 to number 21 Stanford.
Indiana's beating Missouri. Pittsburgh may be number 1 by the time the day's over.
It seems to happen early in the year to those number 1s, doesn't it? They just can't hang on to that spot. Kentucky a winner. Arkansas over Illinois, knocking off the 11th-ranked Illini. Here it was a final of Pittsburgh 64 and Penn State 47. We hope you've enjoyed our telecast. It was all Pittsburgh from that 6-0 start that they had to this ball game, and they simply rolled to victory. For Bob Valvano and our entire crew here at the Peterson Events Center on the campus of the University of Pittsburgh, I'm John Sanders. Thanks for watching. Again, the Panthers win it 64-37. They cruise to their 20th in a row in this building. This has been a presentation of ESPN Plus, the worldwide leader in collegiate sports television. So long, everyone.